KP's Kingdom, cooking with KP, and today I'm going to show you how to make your very own homemade lasagna. We're going to make everything for this particular dish, and it's not that hard to do. Let's get on with it. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make up my little passata, and it's going to help make our sauce up. So a 400 gram can of diced Italian tomatoes, that can go straight in. I'm going to put in another tin, so it's going to be 800 grams in total. Put that into your food processor and give that a little bit of a blitz, maybe about 30 to 40 seconds, and you've made your very own passata with no added ingredients or preservatives whatsoever. Just tomato, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of water. That's it. That goes straight in, and we can just set that aside until we are ready to use it. So here I've got a nice big saucepan, a little dash of olive oil, probably about 2 tablespoons worth, and use a good extra virgin one. Now here I've got 2 onions that I've just finely chopped. That can go straight in. And this is going to make up our bolognese sauce for use in our lasagna. Okay, so we're going to let those go a little bit on the translucent side, just like that. And I'm going to add in around about 2 to 3 carrots that I have grated. Okay, and this is going to add a nice sweetness to it, and it's also going to pad out the meat bolognese component for this lasagna. Here I've got 500 grams of chicken mince. You can use beef, pork, whatever you like. I'm going to use a chicken on this one, and I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm also going to add in 500 grams of turkey thigh mince as well. Gives it a really interesting flavor. Right, that all just goes straight in. All I'm simply going to do now is add in that homemade passata that we just made from our little cans of tomatoes. That can go straight in like that. We've got our heat at a sort of low-ish type temperature at the moment. We just want to cook this off for a fair period of time. I've got some fresh basil that was starting to wilt off, and I just needed to use that up. I'm going to put that in. I'm also going to add in around about 2 cloves worth, maybe 3 cloves worth of garlic paste. That can go straight into our pot as well. As you can see, we've got a little bit of steam coming off. Rinse one of your tomato cans out with a bit of water and add that to our mix as well. Now start working your mince through, your ground meat through, and start separating it all the way through. Now around about sort of half an hour on, we've got something that's looking a little bit anemic at the moment. Don't worry, we're going to add in some freshly ground black pepper. Right, freshly ground is always best. It gives you the best pepper flavor. I'm also going to add in around about 4 tablespoons worth of tomato paste concentrate. Right, that really rich and intense flavor of tomato all in that little sachet. And I prefer to buy them in a sachet rather than buy them in a jar. The sachets, once they're done, they're done. You open a jar, you leave it in the fridge. 3 months later you forget about it, and it's all green and fuzzy, and it looks like it's growing penicillin. I'm going to add in a little bit of beef bouillon powder as well. It's going to just enrichen that flavor and give it that real nice bottom end that we want. It's going to sort of simulate a beef type lasagna. Right, let's start making up our pasta. Teaspoon of salt, 300 grams worth of Tipo 00 flour. That can go straight into our little sieve right there. And if you are new to the channel, yes, I do have MS, and I do have a lot of problems using my hands. They do what they want to do, no matter what I tell them to do. So if I make weird movements with my hands, that's where it comes from. I'm going to sieve that through. That is all done. All the lumps are gone. Now I'm going to add in 3 eggs. Now these eggs are bought from a local farm, and basically with this carton, every egg had a double yolk. Right, every single egg. So 3 eggs, 300 grams of flour. In this case, I'm going to use 2 eggs, which is going to be 4 yolks because they're doubles, and we're going to put that into our little mixing bowl. Alright, all we have to simply do now is mix that through, get all that beautiful egg and the flour and a little bit of salt all mix together, and it's not going to take very long at all, and you don't need to use a dough hook if you've got a good heavy duty mixer like this one. I'm going to just check my moisture quantity, and I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, let's get on with our next step. Alright, nice and easy. And if you haven't made your own pasta before, it is so simple to do. All you really do need to have is a pasta roller, which you can buy from different outlets. You can have a hand cranked one. I have got this beautiful mechanical one that attaches to my mixer, and that is for different reasons, because I can't coordinate between my right and my left hand, and sometimes it is easier if two people are doing this. I like to try and do this solo. I've wrapped that up in cling film, put that in the refrigerator for around about half an hour to an hour, and I'm simply just going to start putting this through our pasta roller. We start on the widest or thickest setting to start with, and we're simply just going to start pushing this through. Now, as you can see, I've taken that dough and mix it into a few different sheets. It just makes it a little bit more manageable to do. We are going to change that up in a little bit. We can actually start doubling up and putting them through again and again, and every now and then we can go down to a thinner setting on our pasta roller. I'm going to go all the way down to my thinnest setting because I want a really soft pasta for this lasagna. I don't want it to be like trying to cut a rock. Okay, so as you can see, we've got beautiful pasta, and I'm separating that with a little bit of greaseproof paper or a little bit of oven paper. Alright, let's start making up our bechamel part, or our cheese sauce part. I've got around about sort of 20 to 30 grams worth of butter. I use salted, you can use unsalted if you wish, but to me, I just buy the one butter and I just make do with whatever. I'm going to add in around about 3, maybe 4 tablespoons worth of flour. Use the flour of your choice. I'm just using a self-raising flour right there. It doesn't matter, it's our thickening agent. That's all we have to do. Mix all of that through and cook that flour out. Now, what you need in your life is a Mrs. KP. She's going to help pour some milk into this roux that we have just made. So the butter, the flour together, cooked off, that is a roux, and now we start adding in some milk nice and slowly, just like I am doing right there. And if you've been a follower of the channel, you will actually see me do sauces like this a fair bit. It's a really simple, easy, cheats way to make a great tasting gravy or a sauce. Alright, so you just add that in and wait for it to sort of absorb, okay? And I'm going to add in a little bit of nutmeg as well. Now, the nutmeg in this particular dish, it just works and is a little bit more traditional and a little bit old school. Okay, now I'm going to add in a little bit of some tasty cheese, a little bit of some pecorino cheese. You can use Parmesan if you want, it doesn't really matter, but we want a nice rich cheesy sauce. Okay, so we're just going to wait for that to do its little thing. We don't want it too thick, we just want a really nice light bechamel type sauce for our lasagna. Let's get assembling. Right, here I've got a nice little bit of our mince concoction, a little bit of bolognese, and I'm just going to ladle that into the bottom, and that's going to stop any pasta or anything sticking, and it's going to actually crisp up a little bit on the bottom and give us a mad flavour. Alright, so just mix that. I'm going to lay down our freshly made lasagna sheets, and there's nothing like having your own homemade lasagna sheets or your own pasta in this particular dish. I'm going to add over a little bit of our cheesy bechamel, like that. Very, very simple. And all we have to do now is really start working these layers up. Now, this particular dish, 1 kilo of mince, 2 cans of tomatoes, a little bit of pasta. It gave Mrs. KP and I a meal for the next 2 nights after we finished cooking this one. Right, so just add all of those in, pour the last of your bechamel all over the top like that, and there's nothing better than a nice creamy lasagna. Oh, right. So oven is sitting at 180 degrees. We only had to cook this for around about 30 minutes, or half an hour, if you are challenged that way. We're going to put that straight down like that, and look at the beautiful colour that we have on this lasagna. And all we have to do now is serve it up just like that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you don't like this video, hit that like button. Share this video with all your friends on all platforms, social media. We are trying to grow the KP's Kingdom audience. Hit that notification bell to be notified every time a new video goes up. Leave a comment. I love reading and I love responding to them. Alright, more importantly, you want to learn how to make a dish like this for 2 people, 3 nights. Would have cost me $10, maybe $11 in total. Well, you need to come and join the family, my family. Hit the subscribe button and you'll never miss another one of my videos again. I'm off to eat my homemade lasagna and I will catch you next time. Bye.